All right, let's see what game 2 holds for us. It is on Oxide, which makes a nice change from Death for us. So Oxide, quite a different map really in all sorts of ways. Let's what am I doing? Not that. There we go. Firesrest, 1 game up. So Firesrest in the bottom here. Oxide, your third on Oxide is much further away than is common. So if I look over here from Seli's point of view, a siege tank up here, a siege tank here is great defensively for your natural. But look where you've got to come to defend this third. The third down here is open from 2 paths of attack. If you take these rocks out, 3 paths of attack. If you expand over this way, again, it's open on this side, it's open on this side. So actually the third base much harder to kind of secure in a turtling Terran kind of way. Similarly for the Zerg, it's further than on a lot of maps. So personally as Zerg, I tend to expand this way. I tend to just go straight across. But what's really important for the Zerg is to have that creep spread so that you can quickly get between your bases, because otherwise it's really easy for drops and such to just come in, or whatever, a push to just come in here, snipe the base and get out, or come in this way, snipe a base and get out before your units can get there to defend. So Firesrest in the last game played Protoss and won. In this game has decided to go back to Zerg, where he presumably feels the most comfortable, having played Zerg last year, didn't he? Wasn't he a Zerg last year? Oh, no, maybe he was a Terran, wasn't he? He was Terran. So okay, fair play. Everything looking normal enough. The expo is up. There are a couple of lings in production. That's kind of fine. I personally, you get your expo up, you get your pool done, you build maybe 4 lings, maybe 6 lings, you get them out on the map, scouting about, looking for stuff, looking for the Reaper. Now these slow lings, the Reaper can kill these. What's happening here? What's going on? Literally, the Reaper can just kill these slow lings this far from home. The Reaper can just dance about and kill them. Those lings should be dead. As it is, no, don't let them eat you. Don't let them nibble you. Just stay parked there and just shoot them in the head. It shouldn't really have taken damage on the Reaper, because now if the Queen, one more hit and this Reaper goes down, and no, don't lose the Reaper, dude. Oh man. Okay, so the Reaper's dead, but not before he, I think, caught wind of the number of lings that were in production. This is more lings than I would expect to see out on the map this early. It'd be nice if you could get the snipe on the Overlord, because that would be a supply block, but if the Marines actually come down here, they're going to lose out to these lings. So the purpose of the lings is just to deny the expo, but the expo here is on the high ground for Seli. So these lings are going to actually get very little done, but they could still delay. You could see he was ready to move this out. Now that the Hellions on the map, he can probably push down here with a couple of workers. It's a reasonable number of lings, but without speed, a couple of workers, a couple of Marines, and the Hellion can definitely move on down here. If you are in this position as a Terran, you can also just do the orbital command upgrade on your CC before you fly it down, so that you're still getting value from it. It isn't going to be able to land this with the lings here at present, but now that there's 2 Hellions out, definitely has enough to come down here and toast everything. So once the Marines with it though, because you can micro this I suppose well enough, but you don't really want to lose a Hellion if you can avoid it. So could have done with having the Marines in accompaniment, because the Hellions fire so slowly, but they do that straight line splash damage. So the 2 Hellions get the shot off, and then the Marines sort of deliver the killing blow, and it cleans it up very quickly and nicely for you. Stim being researched, speed about to finish up, and +1 melee on the other side of the map together with 10 lings. So it looks like Chayton's going to get aggressive here with a reasonable sized flood of lings. The Bentley nest is done too. So yeah, I like it. We could definitely, there's potential here. Sorry, I'm not trying to make you feel seasick. I was just checking the level of zoom. These Marines unfortunately going to get surrounded and taken out. Where's the Hellions all the way over here? So yeah, needs to get this Hellion involved as well to clean these Lings up with as few losses as possible. Some SCVs coming down also. Why isn't the Hellion getting involved? Because it would just make such a big difference to this. But unfortunately, the Hellion's now running about like a loon, and if this Hellion gets surrounded as well, then you're going to lose the Hellion. Hellion's having to run. There's no SCVs to repair it. Only gets the one shot off. Really needed the Hellion to run up the ramp here so that the Marines had cover of it as well. So Firesrest managing to put on a reasonable bit of pressure here and be fairly annoying. Widow Mine coming out, and that could actually be massive. The Bentlings are going to be done before it gets out though. So if Firesrest moves straight in with these Bentlings, could have a great result. If Seli can get a Widow Mine down here before the Bentlings start to come up the ramp, the Widow Mine can just negate the Bentlings really hard. The Bens don't have speed as yet. So what else are we seeing here? If there's a siege tank in production, that's a good thing. It is coming. It could really do with these barracks actually not just being idle. There we go, and could do with a medevac as well. What he doesn't know is that the spire is about to finish up, and that could cause him some real headaches. He does have eBay, so plenty of scope to be building turrets, but he needs this expand. He needs to get moving down here. I mean, I know Bentlings are unpleasant, but you can't just like hover this command center forever. You need to get involved down here. You need to clear this area out. So is temporarily supply blocked. That's annoying. This depot will never finish. So yeah, if the Marines run, they're not running. I don't know why not, but if the Marines run and try and bit the Bentlings into range of these Widow Mines, then that's a job done for you. So it needs to do a bit of micro here. It needs to do a bit of dancing backward and forward. Open the depot, get the Widow Mine onto the low ground, get some Marines down to bit this stuff forward and obliterate it. Because if the mutas turn up, he could find he is in trouble. Now the spire finished some time ago, but there are no mutalisks on the map nor in production, and I'm not 100% sure why. I also, Firesrest, you've squandered an opportunity here because the Bentlings could have come up the ramp and busted this. Now that there's a siege tank, this is gonna get ugly. Oh no, but the siege tank unsieges. Doesn't matter. That's what Widow Mines do right there, isn't it? 9 kills, 2 kills. Yeah, just an obliteration. So I can't help but feel from both sides that everything that we just saw unfold there should have unfolded much sooner. The Bentlings should have been up the ramp sooner before the siege tank was available. Yeah, Seli should have moved down onto this low ground much sooner as well. Why is there a spire and no mutas? Because the additional supply depots. Yeah, Seli doesn't know about this, but he is now just building a turret anyway, which is absolutely fine. Just a safety turret. And now like one mutalisk in production, it just like the mutas could have been very effective while you were causing your opponent headaches down here. Mutas around the back could have been a really useful thing to get done. But Seli desperately needs another expo. He's only got a maximum of 12 workers here. And this isn't yet saturated, so he really could do with getting another base up. He's got the minerals for it, so I'd like to see another CC get started here, ready to fly down into this location or over here. One of the things you can do is, Terran, you can build your CC and you can just wall off here with supply depots, and that isn't a bad thing to do. Is this Ling going to see it? I don't know. Did the Ling see it? Where's the Ling? I pressed yeah, I might have rewound a little bit too far. Let's see if Firesrest actually catches a whiff of these medevacs. He does not. That is very close though, wasn't it? Very close. So the double drop coming in here could potentially get a lot done. It's full of Marines. If he just boosts into this type of location, there isn't actually that much stuff that can come and defend. Could potentially snipe the lurker down, and that would be nice, or could just go ham on these workers and get a lot done there. Yeah, so it's going to drop down. It's a pretty slow reaction from Firesrest. The Lings are going to come in. For some reason, the medevacs are no longer dropping Marines out. I don't know what happened there. They seem to stop. Needs to hit the boost button and get out of there. And with that, oh no, don't stop if the mutas get you. It's all bad. But the mutas turn and run. So from Firesrest's point of view, what he needed to do was have the mutas focus in the medevac, ignoring the Marines dropping out. It does look like he is going to manage to clean this up. Is there still boost left? There is. So Seli gets out with only a couple of Marines lost. But yeah, I don't really quite get what happened. It looked like the medevacs didn't fully unload. They just got about halfway through. Maybe he accidentally pressed the stop button or something like that before they had emptied out. Anywho, upgrades are happening. It's melee. It's missile attack. Coming for the Zerg, and there's Hydras in production, and Hydras are good, so that is going to be okay. Upgrades for Seli, he's got armor and ground attack coming as well. No mech upgrades just yet, but that's all right. It does look like it's going to be a bio-centric style. Here we are at the 10-minute mark, and Seli doesn't yet have a third up, and that is really beginning to worry me. His opponent's on 4 bases, although admittedly not yet kind of fully saturated in one of those. You know, as a Zerg, 4 or 5 bases is when you feel like you're winning. You know, if you've got like this whole corner of the map with 5 bases and between 80 and 90 workers, you know, you can just hold down the button. You can literally, you've got so many larvae, you've probably got a macro hatch here, maybe a macro hatch here. You've got so much income that you can just have one of each tech structure, and you can just send stuff across the map and grind your opponent down. You can just be like, right, I'm going to send in all these Zerglings and see what I can get done. And when they all die, you just, you know, you hit 4S and you hold down the R button. And you max out on roaches and you send them in, and then you max out on mutas and you send it, you know, and so on. And in that way, it's just so hard to fight against. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen here. This is actually not a very big army for Firesrest at present. Not very big at all. And, you know, I appreciate that probably... Benling drop here, but actually the Widow Mines managed to clean it up. These Bens are going to make it into the mineral line though, and this, oh no, Seli, no reaction at all, loses half the workers. Had Firesrest been looking maybe a bit more spread, and he could have got all the workers with those Benlings. But there isn't enough here to fight these Marines, not by a long chalk. So the Corruptors are going to fall, the Hydras are going to fall. And actually, what's Firesrest got left? Nothing. Needs to hold these Lings back. These Lings you can't run Lings into that. So, you know, there's no way to save this. Don't worry about saving this. If you can, pull the workers off to safety. But what he needs to be doing with those Lings, instead of running them in, is turning them into Benlings, pulling them back, turning them into Benlings, because that's the only thing that you can do against this. This is an entirely bio army. And trickling in Lings, you know, 4 at a time, definitely isn't going to touch the sides. So, interesting plays from both sides, but ultimately, Firesrest just didn't have a big enough army at home to deal. And funnily enough, while I love the Benling drop on the other side of the map, had those Benlings been at home with the rest of his army, that could have been a very different outcome. Anyway, GG.